Imagine landing on a new shore, building a town, and then everyone vanishes. But what if they didn't? Today, we'll uncover the truth that most people never hear about the Lost Colony of Roanoke, and the clues that are left behind, well, they changed everything. Former governor of the colony, John White, returned to the island of Roanoke early on August 18, 1590. John White had left many years prior in search of English aid. He was excited to finally see his daughter and granddaughter, Virginia Dare, after all these years. You see, Virginia was the first English child born in America, and today was her birthday. He could not wait to see all the colonists that had risked their lives with him and come across the Atlantic to the New World. Soon after landing, he discovered the letters CRO carved into a tree. As he approached his colony, he found silence. The uneasy silence became louder and louder. All the colonists' chests had been looted, including John White's own chest. There were no sign of anything worth value, and if there had been, they were long gone. That did not help calm White's mind of what had happened to his family. His mind wandered. Had they died? Had they been kidnapped? Were they forced to work under the hand of the natives? But when he discovered the words CROATOAN engraved on an entrance post, it filled him with hope. While to you and me, the words CROATOAN may mean nothing, the settlers were referring to a Native American tribe of the same name. The tribe also lived on a nearby island called CROATOAN. You see, before John White left, he made a deal with the colonists. If they had to relocate, they would leave clues as to where they were going. However, they also agreed that if they were leaving in distress, they would put a cross next to the clue. So no cross, no problem. They had simply relocated. But that begs the question. If the colonists had just relocated, why are they called lost? Well, I'll get into that in a minute, because this next clue was literally hidden for centuries. Fast forward to modern times, and historians have access to tools like X-rays and infrared cameras. A group of historians at the British Museum decide why not take a look at John White's own map with these helpful tools to see if they can gain any insight into John White's life or thoughts. He had 2 patches on his map, which was standard for those days. They were considered to be correctional. The tools at the modern historian's disposal allowed them to see underneath the patches. When the first patch was examined, it was nothing special. It was just standard adjustments to the coastline. But when they took a look under the second patch, it became a mystery of its own caliber. There was a symbol under the second patch. It was a blue and red star shape. It is understood that the symbol stands for a fort. The location on the map is commonly referred to as Site X because X marks the spot. Site X contradicts the clues that the colonists had left for White to find. They had obviously been planning to come to this location before John White left. So, did they? Were they able to build the fort at Site X? Were they wiped out by a hurricane or an attack from the natives? Well, this is where the story gets even more interesting. This is a part that not many people know about. You see, about a century later, in 1701, a man named John Lawson journeyed to the Carolinas to explore. In his exploration, he came across Hatteras Island, home to the Hatteras people. A century of storms and hurricanes had caused CROATOAN to join with the nearby Barrier Island in the Outer Banks. Since then, it's been called Hatteras. Anyway, Lawson was the first historian, though not the first European, who had been to the region since John White. Following his meeting with the Hatteras people, he had discovered some intriguing news. He found that many of the tribesmen had white skin and gray eyes, a trait not found in Native Americans. He also discovered that their ancestors could read and write. Lawson found that the indigenous people had a deep interest in and had been heavily influenced by European culture. Lawson's theory was that the people of Roanoke had relocated to Hatteras in order to survive. But if all this is true, why does the legend of the lost colony still stick around? In the late 1500s and the early 1600s, it was used as a way to warn settlers to be more prepared coming to the New World. Though in the grand scheme of things, the story was used as a way to get people to invest in the Americas. While on one hand, whatever happened to the colonists of Roanoke was awful, it definitely helped cause a stir for American colonies in the European world. The lore of Roanoke was never about what happened to the colonists. It was about how it pushed history forward. It definitely makes you wonder, when else in history have people's mishaps been used to further an idea or business venture? Also, what other things are considered mysteries just because we choose to tell the story that way? You know, if you thought the story of Roanoke was amazing, wait till you hear about how 56 signatures changed not just America, but the entire world. Click right here for that video.